Well, hello everyone and welcome back once again to another little episode of Whitebeard's Kitchen. So today I am going to do a Vietnamese dish. It's a Vietnamese stew called Bo Kho, that's B-O-K-H-O. I call it Vietnamese stew. And I'll just show you some of the ingredients because basically it's great. It's a one pot dish. I have roughly about 800 grams of braised steak again, just cut into pieces. I have butternut squash. I have lemongrass. I have 2 stalks of it, 3/4 of a tablespoon of dark soy sauce. I have 1.5 tablespoons of light soy sauce, and I have about 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, which I might add a wee bit more. I'll taste it during the cooking process. I might add another tablespoon or so in. Roughly about 3/4 of a teaspoon of white pepper, and I have 1.5 teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice. I will say be careful on Chinese 5-spice, it is very strong. I've just left it whole. As you can see, it's a banana shallot or shallot. I have roughly about 4 of those, kind of finely chopped. If you can't get those, what you could use a large onion, white onion, red onion, or you could use, if you're using the wee baby small shallots that you may be buying in the supermarkets here in the UK and Ireland, probably you'd use maybe about 14 of those. I will add will be the juice of a lime. I will add that in. My darling wifey's favourite condiment that I use, shrimp paste. It is a horrible smell, to be honest. I use roughly about maybe a heaped teaspoon of that. If you can see this, I have roughly about 2.5 heaped tablespoons of garlic and ginger minced. Use that in my curries, Indian curries. I have 4, I've got 2 large carrots, 2 medium carrots. It depends on what veg you want to put in. 3 Star Anise. I have 2 pieces of cinnamon stick or Cassia bark, a small red chilli that I have finely sliced. So that's kind of all the ingredients that's in this. It might seem a lot, but it's an easy dish, almost chucking everything in together. I'll probably cook this eventually. I let it do at about 160, 170 in a fan oven, so that's maybe about 190 in a conventional oven. That will then go into the oven for roughly about 2 hours, but it will start on the stove top. Right folks, so the lemongrass that I have here, I'm going to use 2 stalks, and you could possibly use 3, and if you can't get lemongrass, you can buy lemongrass powder maybe. Just get rid of those hard stalks. The couple of bits up here at the end really won't be that much use either. The thing about lemongrass is it is very fibrous, and what I look to do is once you have cut that, what you will do, those first few layers maybe on it, you can kind of peel off. You're looking to go mostly I suppose for those it's kind of gets softer as you peel back some of these layers, so I will do that. I'll just do it with the one. That kind of is soft enough. Get rid of those bits. You can do is just gently bruise it. Now I could cut this in half or in pieces and just put it into the stew and then take it out. It's not something you would eat in a piece, for example, that size. But what I am going to do is I am going to finely slice this. Move that bit out of the road. And because of the cooking time in and around about 2 hours, it shouldn't take that long. So if you kind of get the gist, I mean, as fine as possible with this. And if there's any little fibrous bits there that come off, you find difficult to cut as you're chopping this up, by all means, just discard it. It does have a lovely, wonderful lemon smell. Sorry, when I was showing the ingredients, what I did fail to mention was I will probably add in maybe about 3 or 4 just tomatoes that will actually just thicken the gravy a little bit. I will add a good tablespoon and a half of brown sugar, as well, just to help balance all the different flavours. One has to keep an eye. So, when you're cutting, kind of that one slight finger forward this one and 2 fingers slightly back. And just take your time with this. It is quite a tough little cookie. There we are. So that's it finely chopped. Right folks, so what I have in here is roughly about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, any flavourless oil. So just what I'm going to do is really just get a good, I'm going to leave this beef, give it a bit of a sear on it. So just spread it out in my pot. And I'm going to leave this for a few minutes on a medium to high. And then all being well, when it starts seeing a bit of colour coming through, what I will do then, I will turn it over and give it a quick whiz through with a spoon, and then start adding in the other ingredients. That's the beef nicely browned. It's beginning to caramel a little bit at the bottom. That's just the juices. You'll probably hear the sizzle of that. So what goes in now, folks, not in any particular order really. First of all, I will put in the shallots. Get those in. I'm just going to add a small taste of the beef stock, kind of to just deglaze the pan. Be about 700 mils going in all together, but I may add some more during the cooking process if it becomes too dry when it's in the oven. So I'll put the heat kind of now to medium low. Another tiny taste of the beef stock. Just a tablespoon or 2. Okay, 3. Now the ginger and garlic. Get that in. Give that a good mix round. Probably only for about 45 seconds or so. While the handles of this is absolutely frozen. You're done the old usual. In now with the Star Anise, 3 pieces, and the 2 pieces of cinnamon. In with the small chilli. It's not a spicy dish. If you want to add more, you can put, I suppose, some raw chilies on the top. Going to add the lemongrass in, the 2 stalks, and you can see maybe this going in. It is pretty finely chopped. And as I say, don't forget to remove, when you're doing what I did, make sure a couple of layers come off, because it can be a very fibrous, woody type aromatic. It does have a wonderful smell. This is my version. There's bits and bobs that people can add in. So get that mixed round. In with the carrots. And I suppose, I know that I'm adding butternut squash today, but you could maybe add potato or any other type of hard veg. But butternut squash cooks quicker than carrot. So once it's been on about an hour in the oven, then so just get things mixed right through. I'll check it and then probably put in, or will put in, the butternut squash then. So, and here I forgot the white pepper and Chinese 5 spice. And again, taste the thing. You might want to add another wee bit of pepper in, another little bit of chilli. Make it shouldn't be, as I say, it's not an overly spicy dish at all. And that sauce that I talked about earlier, the little bit of sauce that will be going in, you could maybe, if you want, marinate your beef and maybe like a teaspoon of dark soy, tablespoon of soy sauce, and a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons maybe of fish sauce, and let it sit for a while. I didn't. That's a couple of reasonably small tomatoes in. If you want, you could add a tablespoon of tomato puree, tomato paste. if you wish. Sometimes I've done both. You'll not see many recipes with the shrimp paste in, but I'm going to add maybe one, that was a watery teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of that. I think that can go to the bin. I'm not going to hang on to that drizzle. Yep, and it's coffee. These are all surprised, aren't you? Oops, dear me, I've just booted the camera. So I'm not going to add the lime juice in at the moment. Going to add in, say, roughly it was about 3 tablespoons of fish sauce and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. I think this is what I had said, and roughly about a couple of teaspoons of dark soy sauce. So get that in, give it a shake, give that a bit of a mix about. Okay, it's great. Once you have this little bit, not a difficult process, it's just about mixing everything together. Okay, so in with the beef stock. Just enough to cover it, I think, probably at some point. I may indeed add in, so that is it. This is now going to go in the oven, roughly about 2–2.5 hours. After just about an hour, so I'll check it and put in the butternut squash. So you could use potatoes, maybe another hard root veg. Okay folks, so it has roughly been about an hour. This has been on. So in with sugar, and it's roughly about 2.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. This is probably about a medium-sized butternut squash. Hard to tell, all different sizes, come in all different sizes. Horrible bloody thing to chop. Cut, and you have to take the seeds out, which are a nuisance. Very healthy, the seeds, so I think if you can roast them, they might be a bit like pumpkin seeds, I don't know. But not to go in this, and while I've done the wrong thing, as usual, I have touched the handle, and thank God I didn't keep my hand on it for too long, otherwise I'd have been standing here with no skin. So give that a good mix round. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in roughly some more fish sauce, so I'm going to say about another 1.5 tablespoons of fish sauce in. And probably now about another 1/2 to 3/4 cup of boiling water. Just give that a good mix round. Going to give it a slight taste. See if I am missing anything. So just a tiny little bit of a kick, but that's probably not so much with the chilli because it was a very small chilli and it wasn't bird's eye. You can taste the pepper. There we are. Well mixed. Lid on and back in the oven at least for another hour to hour and 15 minutes. Maybe an hour and a half. Want the beef to be tender. Well folks, I know I've only had it back in the oven again after having the butternut squash, but I've been thinking about this. I'm going to add my lime juice in now. So this is the juice of a full lime. This is kind of optional. It's just something that I like to do. It helps with the saltiness, and also I suppose takes a sting out of the saltiness, a bit of a sting out of the sweetness. And also that little bit of spice that's there, which is really only the black pepper the white pepper that I mentioned at the beginning has been one of the ingredients. You could serve this with rice, as I say, or banh mi, which is like a form of French baguette, only like or a crusty roll as we would call it here in Northern Ireland. What I'm going to do is, you can add could have added in potato, but I'm going to add in potato into this, so it makes up for the French stick or the baguette that was supposed to be for this, but that the greedy person here, me, munched earlier. So this will bulk it out that wee bit. Again, this is optional. You could have used potato in this. Some people don't use potato. So I've added potato in. It'll also thicken it up a wee bit, obviously, with the starch of the potato. So give it a good mix. God. Right. And you can see it's reasonably sized chunks of potato. I'm going to say that's maybe about 4 small each potatoes, small to medium, in there. Give it a good mix through. Get it all well covered. There'll be water to come out of the potatoes, starch as well, because I didn't rinse the potatoes out. Give them just a quick rinse under cold water. Lid back on, into the oven. I am going to say this will at least be another hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half. Well folks, there we are. Bo Kho, as it's known in Vietnam, or Vietnamese stew. Here we are. So it's ready, and I'm going to try and taste this. Holy shit, is the bowl, it's absolutely roasting. So that's absolutely lovely. You can taste the Star Anise, the cinnamon, the lemongrass, not the fish sauce, because I know my better half doesn't like the pungent smell of it, but it's okay when it's cooked. And obviously the garlic and ginger and everything else that's in it. So all I'm going to say is, have a good evening, try this out, and rock on. See you soon. I'm hungry. Bye for now.